Author's name and the link to original text is in the description. And we are in session. The Secretary General, a venerable Terran, began with a firm bang of his gavel upon the desk. Beside him, two pencil pushers furiously began to type on their holos. As recording devices were activated all across the room, crosstalk died immediately. The press continued to scribble and type notes, while those of the colloquy all turned to the giant holoscreen. The reporter began to scribble his notes immediately. And here in the heart of the Terra, we are in the Terran Capitol building, where the head of the Terran governance is located. We look down and see the 683 delegates from all of the Terran territories and provinces. Motion to open debate. That is in motion. All in favor. And all those opposed. Excellent. We are in debate. Terran governance is widely democratic. Although highly complicated and a bureaucratic nightmare in the eyes of races, Terrans regard it with much simplicity. The two houses in the Terran government, the House of Lords and the House of Commons, have intermingled below. Motion to open speakers list. That is in motion. All in favor. And all those opposed. This has been approved. Those wishing to speak, please raise your play cards. The House of Lords is solely comprised of Terrans who have undergone heavy genetic modification and psionic amplification. The average Terran Lord is over 9 feet tall and weighs roughly a ton. Unlike that of the Elder Ones, the Terran Lord's vast psionic mind appears to have only improved upon their physical abilities, many of which are stated to be impossibly powerful with just sheer strength alone. Lord Ventura is recognized for 1 minute. In addition, Terran Lords appear to have functional immortality, though some may actually be truly eternal. All Terran Lords are noted to be Class 1 psionics, though there have been rumors of Class 0s. Thank you. The towering woman nodded. A pair of blue eyes that were brighter than clear skies and hair as white as fallen snow. As our discussion today entails The reporter looked up. Strangely, his translator had stopped working. No matter, even though the language below was alien to him, he continued his notes. Terran Lords, while possessing certain privileges, do not appear to be in complete power. It is noted that any large-scale political decision made by an individual Terran Lord commonly has to be approved by at least 2/3 of the rest of the House of Lords, and then has to be approved by at least half of House of Commons. This also appears to work vice versa. As such, two separate political factions are shown to hold at least some form of checks and balances system. At the center of all of this is a seemingly randomly elected Secretary General who holds some semblance of chief executive power. He is capable of vetoing any decision made, but has no active power in any decision making and can be vetoed himself if the joint houses are able to reach a 2/3 agreement. This chair cannot be occupied by a Terran Lord or anyone from the House of Commons. The discussion went on. The reporter took a look at the Terrans below. Many of them were sorted into blocks who all held common interest. At the center of one block was the Emperor of the Northern Star, Lord Valis. Directly adjacent to him was Lord Tonair Stormcaller and Lord Lauder. He had many flattering titles on Terra: Emperor of the Northern Star, King of the Valkyr and Berserkers, the Valfather and a host of others. But in Andromeda, he only had 2 names: Demon Lord of Undeath and the Slayer of Gods. The reporter made sure to take a photo of Valis, a venerable Terran who was infamous in Andromeda during the final climactic battle. He had slain over 43 Elder Ones personally and had given orders for his soldiers to bring him severed heads of the gods as proof of their deeds and rewarded them generously for such. A Terran Lord is in nearly every respect imaginable, a god in flesh, a god of the Milky Way. Yet whereas the Elder Ones had accepted our attributions to their divinity, the Terran Lords refuse any such claims despite their obvious power. Some of these creatures dwarf the Elder Ones in sheer psionic might. Why they are not the peak of Terran power is a mystery. They are both in positions to be controlling such a vast empire and have both the respect and veneration from their people to rule without much objection. The reporter took a picture of every Terran Lord. There were 127 of them. Immortals, divines, gods, whatever they were called. And yet here they were, content to only be in arm's reach of absolute power. The Terrans have an official document detailing the individual freedoms of their citizens in a 1,000-year-old slab that has been preserved through the ages. Known as the United Nations Charter of Rights in modern translations, this document has been in working effect for thousands of years. Given the track record of Terrans and their almost frivolous tendencies of annihilating anything that does not align with their interest, it seems that such a race needs to keep its greatest law written in stone. It is unfortunate to say that Terrans do not extend such courtesies towards non-Terrans. All those in favor, please raise your placards. Those against? Excellent. The Secretary General nodded as he finished his count. Our subject on discussing the problems presented in regards to the sentient races still left present in Andromeda has now reached its conclusion. The proposed resolution made by Lord Pankirios, Lord Halton and Lord Choros, the complete and utter annihilation of all sentient life in the Andromeda galaxy, has failed with 662 against and 101 for. The proposals made by Siddhartha of the complete abandonment of Terran military agendas within the Milky Way has passed with 574 votes for and 119 against. Good work, ladies and gentlemen. This will be introduced effective next week.